Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Are we on the eve of something great? Something great for Bitcoin, something great for the crypto space. Only time will tell. We're hearing all these things about, the spot ETF is going to be approved tomorrow, it's going to be approved on the 10th. No one really knows, but I believe we're on the eve and we're so close to something great for Bitcoin and for the space. So guys, let's get into this video here. If you like the content, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more of my content, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to be notified when I come out with a new video. So let's see. I'm excited. I hope everyone here is excited too. We are so early, so early. And you got to pat yourself on the back that you've been on top of this. You've been DCAing, gathering stats, stacking your stats before anyone else in the world wakes up to Bitcoin and crypto. So if we look at the crypto heat map right here, we see that much better than it was yesterday. We are recovering from the slight dump that we had yesterday. Bitcoin's up about 2.6%, ETH's up about 2%. And the only red that I see here, and it's not even that detrimental, we have XRP down a little bit. Hey, look, it just went to green. ICP, Toncoin, but everything is looking pretty good. Look at Celestia, deep green, Aptos, and deep green. So overall, things are looking much better than they were yesterday. Taking another look at the market, we see that the crypto global market cap is up 3.16% positive, right? Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is at 51.5% and ETH dominance is 16%. Fear and greed, according to CoinMarketCap, we're in greed. So normally in greed, that's when people are, I try not to DCA as much. I like to get into it when, people are fearful. But hey, with some of these good projects, you can't wait for that. You just got to DCA when you have the opportunity. So Bitcoin, looking at the 7-day, let's not even look at 7-day. Let's look at 24 hours. That's when all the action actually took place. Bitcoin has recovered about 3%. ETH recovered about 3%. Solana recovered 6%. And so on. Cardano recovered 2%. Avalanche recovered 5%. So things are looking very positive. Near 2%. Let's see. Aptos 15%. Injective 12%. So a lot of recovery. Celestia is the bigger. Look at that. 25% recovery for the 24 hour. That's freaking awesome. Say is down a little bit, but hey, it was pumping when the market was down. So down about 2%. That's all good. But today's video, we're focusing on Bitcoin. And yesterday's dump, one of the catalysts, I would say, is this dude's tweet and report from Max Report. That's an analyst stating that he didn't believe that the BTC spot ETF will be approved in the month of January. For some reason, and I don't know why, I think it must be more powers than that. The market took that report and ran with it, and things went down a little bit. Now, to counteract that, the CEO or whoever the owner is of his outlet said that he acted independently, and most of their people and their journalists and analysts act independently. They trust their work, and it's not a reflection of the company. He went on to say that, analysts operate independently, expressing their opinions without any influence or interference from management. They are employed for their superior analytic skills compared to mine and other in the management team. It's basically, conflict check, right? He's trying to put out all the fires and make sure he does not get sued or the company gets sued for market manipulation. Also, Jim Cramer, I talked about this yesterday in my quick video. The week before, or I want to say earlier this week, he said that Bitcoin is a marvel, technological marvel, and he's all in on Bitcoin. And the day after, or a couple of days after, you see what happened. So inverse Kramer, there may be something to that as well. But also, as a result of yesterday's dump, and it's not even a dump, I use that word lightly, a lot of liquidations. And if we look here, the past 24 hours, we see about 38 million in Bitcoin longs were liquidated. ETH 17.6 million, Sol 10.9, and so on. I don't play with leverage. I'm more so of a long-term type person. I trade when I can to get into bigger assets. Some of my smaller altcoins, I push it into Bitcoin, Solana, a little bit of Ethereum. But some people play with leverage, and hey, if you play with leverage, the rewards will be great. But if you lose, you can get wrecked as well. So Shout out and sorry to all those people that got liquidated yesterday and today. But if we look at Bitcoin, this is from Creative Planning, Charlie Bayo on Twitter. Check him out. He has very, very good economic data out there. If we look at asset classes and the returns from 2011, this includes, the S&P 500, gold, all the assets that, investors and mutual funds, everything that they invest in. And we include Bitcoin. And if you look at the returns from the past since 2011 until now, just take a look at those numbers. And we're going to focus on 2023, right? Because that just got completed. But Bitcoin's at 155.8% return. And you compare that to NASDAQ, 54.9. If you go down, let's take a look at gold, because a lot of gold bugs like to compare Bitcoin to gold, 12.7 return. The bonds, you see all of that. And just basically, at the end of the day, Bitcoin is the best investment for the past decade. I believe that everybody that's in crypto should hold a little bit of Bitcoin. It is the hedge to inflation, is to protect your wealth, and if anything, only going to appreciate over time. Whenever gains I make, I always make sure I DCA into Bitcoin to increase my bag. And everyone's goal should be to be a whole corner, because that one Bitcoin, even half a Bitcoin or quarter of Bitcoin, can change your life, I believe, in 5 to 10 years. Truly, truly believe that. But here, the evidence is in the pudding. You see here from 2011, that's what the returns are. Imagine what the returns will be in the next 5 to 10 years of Bitcoin. I'm telling you guys, we just got so lucky that we're into it so early, and the world really hasn't caught on yet. Another reason why you want to hedge inflation and protect your wealth is look at the national debt. And I'm showing the U.S. because that's where I reside, but it's not only, prone to just the U.S. Everywhere. Turkey, the inflation's out of control. All around the world, the debt is just mounting. And, as a result, the fiat, as a result of that debt, is going down, is decreasing, devaluing. And I just showed you that the returns on Bitcoin, the value just increases, going steadily this way. Yeah, there's some volatility in the middle, but at the end of the day, compared to everything else, it's the best. But if we look at the debt here in the U.S., we see that from June 2nd to December 29th, it increased 2.5 trillion. 2.5 trillion. I didn't say million or billion, trillion. And I don't see any reason why it will be slowing down anytime soon. So, hey, the value of the dollar right now, which is the reserve currency, is decreasing as we speak. Things you bought $5, when I say $5, 5 years ago, definitely you don't have the purchasing power now. It's just a shame. And Bitcoin helps solve all of those problems. That's why it was created. So this is per Bitcoin Mindset. Your time to front run Wall Street is almost over. Get your sats into cold storage and squeeze BTC and make them pay up for it. BlackRock, Fidelity, they're all coming. And they're all going to put their money into this thing. And we don't want to give up cheap sats and cheap Bitcoin to them. You hold on for dear life. And trust me, you'll be rewarded in the future. It's a very, very exciting time to be in crypto and BTC. I hope you guys can appreciate that. And if you don't, in the coming weeks or even a couple of months, if things aren't going to happen like we think they're going to happen by tomorrow or Monday, it's okay. We got March. That's the last deadline for spot ETFs to be approved. And the amount of money that's going to come in is going to be crazy. And then right after that, we have the Bitcoin halving. So all the naysayers, and if you don't believe me now, you just think I'm talking crazy, I'm caught up in the hype, look at this video again come April, May, and let's see where I'm at. Now, if we look at this, when I say all the money is waiting to come into the space, into Bitcoin, we haven't seen anything yet, and we're already at 44,000. Less than half of all investors expect the spot ETF in 2024. So most of the investors don't even think it's going to happen, right? They don't even think it's going to happen. What happens if it actually passes and things go according to plan? But the vast majority see its approval as a major catalyst. 88% of advisors interested in purchasing Bitcoin are waiting after a Bitcoin spot ETF is approved. 88% are waiting until it's approved. We're not even talking about, Van Eck, BlackRock, ARK Invest. I'm not talking about that. We're not talking about the trust funds. We're talking about investors are waiting until it's approved. Access to crypto is still limited. Only 19% of advisors said they are able to buy crypto in client accounts. So, hey, Only 39% of advisors believe that it's going to be approved. 88% are interested in purchasing and are waiting after it's approved. You do the math. Next, we have Valkyrie. They have already filed with the SEC their spot ETF fund. Next, we have VanEck. They filed their spot ETF trust fund with the SEC. Next, we have Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. They have also filed with the SEC. And lastly, we have Fidelity, and they've also filed with the SEC for their spot ETF. And I can't forget ARK Invest. They've also, I believe, probably the last one to do it today, they've also filed. I have never seen, as far as the spot ETF and Bitcoin's process, that it's come this far to them actually filing. There have been meetings we've been hearing about from different reports, closed door meetings and everything like that. And things are looking up. So remember what I said, less than 40%, right? Less than 40%. And, just look at that. Less than 48%. I'm sorry, 40%. And then 80% are looking to get in once the spot ETF is approved. Look at stars are aligning. Look at everything. Look at all the evidence. It's going to be crazy. Now, if we look at some of the dates here. So tomorrow, people keep talking about the January 10th date. That's a very important date. It's important because ARK Invest, I believe their last final date to be approved or denied is that date. So they're probably going to be the first ones to be approved for that spot ETF if it is. And then we have the Grayscale conversion. We know the SEC lost their argument. And so, the argument basically was, hey, Grayscale or SEC, Gary, you've already approved the futures Bitcoin's futures ETF. Why not the spot ETF? And they couldn't give a good explanation as to why. And the judge in court ruled against SEC. So you would think it'd just be a straight conversion, nice and easy transition. But SEC makes things different and difficult, but that hasn't happened yet. So I would imagine Grayscale and ARK will probably be the front runners to be approved. Then after that, you have iShares, Bitwise, VanEck. So a lot of they talk about January 10th. That's probably the first one, but then we're really talking about January 15th, January 17th. And then after that, we have to wait until April. Well, not April, November. Sorry, guys. But either way, it's looking pretty good. Looking good. Now, why does people talk about spot ETFs and why does it matter? Why does it matter to you and me? It's just another thing. It's going to be a sell the news type of deal. That's what some analysts are saying. I tend to differ. And if we look at this chart here by the gold chart or us, it basically shows what happened to gold's price after a spot ETF was approved. And this chart kind of illustrates where we are currently with Bitcoin, right? Hasn't been approved yet. So look at that right here. After it's been approved, just look at that. All the way up. All the way up. And we're talking about gold, which is finite in supply, or it's not infinite. It's not, Bitcoin is finite. Basically, we have a set supply. No more can be created. Whereas gold, they're still finding gold in different parts of the country, different parts of the world. So that's the difference. And if you have something where you can keep making more of it, or you keep finding more of it to something that you can't find more of, what do you think is going to happen to this? The trajectory is just going to keep going up and up and up and up and up and up. Oh man, guys, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild. Now we have Plan B. Now, Plan B gets a lot of flack because his model didn't pan out as it should. But, there were some different headwinds that kind of messed up his model, with the sexes going under, a lot of scandal, Terra Luna, all of that. And that kind of messed everything up. Now there's nothing. There's nothing but goodness ahead. And according to his stock to flow model, by the time we hit the peak, which is 2025, we should be over $100,000 per Bitcoin. And according to this chart, is looking like a lot higher than that, probably closer to 200,000. We'll see. There's a lot of hopium here, but we'll see what happens with that. I'm just excited to be a part of it. And I hope you are too. Another reason why you want to get into crypto and to get in Bitcoin and to bank yourself and to get off fiat and get away from what the system is doing to us, the top 1% is always going to remain the top 1%. And crypto helps kind of mess that up a little bit. Now, everyday people like you and me have a chance to flip it, to make life-changing wealth, to change the generational curses and all of that, and we can be a part of that. And slowly but surely, they don't want that to happen. They're going to do everything in their power to make sure that they have all of the Bitcoin and take it away from you. But if we look at this chart here, this is Congress, the members of Congress versus the SPY, Spider Fund, basically, and U.S. stocks. And look at this. Look at the returns from some of these people: 238%, 122%, 107, 105. But yes, we elect them to protect the people, to protect our rights, and try to do right by us. But look at this; they're lining their pockets. They have, they say insider trading is forbidden, but you have to know unless you're just extremely lucky. Look at these returns. Look at these returns. But in crypto, we get the same type of returns. With Bitcoin, we'll get the same type of returns, if not better, right? We don't need to rely on them or anybody. You can rely on ourselves just by doing our research and being smart with our investments. And also, just to pony on that, we have the CEO of JP Chase, one of the biggest banks here in the U.S., and he said, early last month, basically, if I was in government, I'd close it down, talking about Bitcoin and crypto. But we come to find out later that he, or JP Morgan, is actually part of, or listed as BlackRock's, what do they call it? It's a term called a authorized participant. So basically, JP Morgan is an authorized participant in the spot Bitcoin ETF filing of BlackRock. And what's an authorized participant? Basically, if it's a participant is in an organization with the right to create and redeem shares of an exchange traded fund ETF. So basically, they can, if they want to get some Bitcoin, they can buy Bitcoin, they can retrieve it, redeem the shares. So how do you say on one end that you should close it down, it's bad and everything like that? But on the other hand, the company that you run is actively participating and engaging in crypto trading. Very, very interesting, right? It's a classic case as do as I say, not as I do. But guys, you and me, we're much, much smarter than that. So we know that things are hot. Crypto's been peaking. And as a result, the FUD and a lot of scammers are out there. Guys, I'm going to leave you with this. If you see any type of commercials, and I'm going to show you this commercial. I've seen this on YouTube a lot. And it looks like Michael Saylor, but if you look at closely, look at his mouth, the words and his lips, they're not moving the same. And this is an AI generated type of commercial where they ask you to send crypto or send Bitcoin, and then he'll send you two back. Classic case of, the prince in Africa, and they tell you to do that type of thing. No one is going to give you anything for free. And why should you give your wallet address to anybody? And why should you give them anything and they give you two? The world doesn't work like that. You and I, we're all older. We understand nothing's for free. Just be very, very diligent and mindful of things that are going on. When crypto market gets hot, a lot of scammers want some of your money. They want your crypto. And that's when phone calls, emails, even in your wallet, you might get a free NFT. If you didn't buy an NFT and it's airdropped and you know nothing about it, before you open that thing, Google it, see what's going on, but be very, very, careful. But here's the commercial.
Announce a giveaway of 1 million ETH and 5,000 BTC. Here's how you can double your ETH in this giveaway. Locate the QR code in the video's top right corner, scan it, and be directed to our official website for the address. Send a minimum of 0.1 ETH or 0.1 BTC up to a maximum of 1,000 ETH and 100 BTC to the provided address. Within 5 minutes, watch as your coins are doubled in the same wallet you sent from. Announce a giveaway.
Now, you should know this was Fugazi, just because of him saying ETH. We know that Michael Saylor is the biggest Bitcoin bull. I don't ever think I've ever heard him say Ethereum in his interview unless he's talking about how Bitcoin is that much better. So that should have been the dead giveaway. But again, be very, very, mindful of what's going on. People are looking for your money and looking for your crypto. And guys, this is a very, very special time. Things are going to pop off real nice. And it's not even the peak of bull size. Historically, the bull market will be around June 2025, and we're already starting now. I mean, this spot ETF will help legitimize the crypto space as a real asset class. And Bitcoin, the people that hold it, even if you hold like 0.1, in the future, in years to come, a lot of people are going to try to get that 0.1 and wish they had 0.1 Bitcoin. So guys, right now, while it's under 50,000, not financial advice, but I will continue to DCA and stack. You'll be very, very thankful. So guys, thank you for spending your time with me today. I'm excited for things to come, and I'm gonna share this experience. We're going to share this experience together and see where it takes us. Talk to you later. Bye.